Oh, now we started already.
Yeah.
Then hello everyone.
Hi, how are you, Malak?
I'm doing great. How are you? Happy birthday.
Thank you.
It's not gonna be your birthday next Saturday, but happy birthday.
Yeah. I wanna have a life when I can afford a birth week. Like I party all week.
All week.
Yeah.
Even listen, Indians, they exaggerate a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even their weddings don't last 7 weeks. 7
7
days of
Mhm.
a week.
Yeah.
So are you gonna what is it gonna be about the themes? You have 7 days.
Yeah. I'm just gonna do one thing I like every day of the week. So of course,
Like hiking.
like even working, like I'm gonna go to work one day and then hiking another
In your
day.
you can
and
go
then
to
going
work
to
with your
swim.
pajamas. Make it spice it up a little bit. Listen, it's my birthday week.
Yeah.
Well, you said you want to be rich, so you're gonna have your own people working for you.
Mhm.
So you can just enter in the pajama, being throwing money, and you're like, it's my office
Yeah. That's the goal.
for next year
Yeah, for next year.
when you're
So
30.
next year I have to have a Porsche.
A Porsche.
And I'll have to be rich.
Okay, so which one do you prefer?
Which Porsche?
No, which kidney to sell?
Ah. Yeah, that's the question, right? And even the surgery to remove the kidney, I can't even afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not even an option.
Okay.
Yeah, so welcome. How are you, Malak? This is part 2.
Yes, part 2, everyone. I'm very excited for it because everyone is excited for it, and a lot of things have happened ever since we filmed the first podcast.
Yeah.
So little update. I got my journalism diploma we were talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm officially a journalist
Wow.
right now. What else? What did we talk about last time?
Wow. Let's talk about your journalism diploma. How did it go? How come you're a journalist
Yeah.
and you haven't had your baccalaureate yet?
Oh, yeah. So for people who haven't seen the first podcast, I joined an academy. It's for journalism, photography, and multiple things in this field. No, it was a bad one.
Okay.
So basically, this is going to turn to an ASMR. So basically, it's an academy for journalism. And I've been studying, I studied there for 3 years since I was in middle school. And basically, I finally got it. So I studied about writing news, about TV, about radio, about multiple things.
And did you pay your studies there?
Yes, I did.
Can I ask how much?
Well, I think
And also, I would like to know the name of the school.
it's WBC.
WBC.
So W, B, and C.
Okay.
Yeah. So I joined there when I was in middle school. And basically, I started studying the basics with a teacher, okay, who was a normal teacher who studied journalism. And then they had to shut down because of Corona. And I was okay with that, whatever. And then when we got back, the woman who taught me, she has been a journalist for a famous TV channel for 25 years.
Back then, we had only one TV channel.
No. She's
So
been
not
working
Algerian.
for 25 years, okay?
In
So she worked for the national...
So
for the
obviously,
national.
yeah.
But now she's working for... can I say names?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, for Nahar. And I didn't know this until the last week, which was very embarrassing. So she just texted her name. I didn't even know her name. So she texted us her name and she told us to look up for her articles. And I think that was so cool. So even though I was very depressed that we had to stop,
Yeah.
our teacher was amazing, the woman, the second one.
I see.
So not everything that,
Yeah.
you have to give lifetime to.
So although you were depressed that you had to stop, the information that your teacher was a successful journalist.
Yeah, she gave us a lot of information. It wasn't just about technical things. She
Yeah.
told us what really happens in the industry, which I really appreciate. I didn't know, for example, that in the office, in the police department, they had people who specialize in reading the journals and they read everything.
Yeah.
So everything that we put out there, a police officer is going to read it, especially if it's about the government and all. So she was really advising us about how we keep our resources, how very things that a journalist should know.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate this. And what I appreciate more about the school is that
Can you put the phone like forward to your mouth? Yes.
like this. So what I also appreciate is that they gave us the opportunity to actually be in the field. So we did like les sondages. We went out. We asked people about topics, and in addition to that, like we had like our little kind of shows inside. Like we acted like we have our own show. Like we did like a lot of practical things, which was so much fun. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, cool. I'm also a journalist.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So everything that happens to me happens to you. Have you noticed this?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Just don't die, please. I still want to live.
Yeah, I have to be careful with my life, otherwise it will happen to you too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of the most stressful jobs
it is
ever that I
Listen,
tried.
I was just studying, and I swear to God, like, for example, today is Friday, tomorrow is Saturday. So on Saturday, I need to write all the news that happened in the country and present them. And I'm like shaken. I'm like, oh my God, what did I miss? Because especially you write in the journal, right? So you know, sometimes even like the comma has a role. Like if you misplace anything, it could be like really bad for you. Even I remember we studied the types of the headlines, and there were like 7 or 8, and that was like really. I thought it's a simple job, you know, like you just be writing, and it is for you. Like you have
in that regard. Maybe it's because I'm used to reading articles and stuff. So that is simple. For example, if I write a headline, I am sure it's going to mean what I mean. See what I mean?
And it's going to be catchy. You need it to be catchy.
Yeah. So if I put a comma somewhere, like if you write 150 words, it's easy to choose where you put your comma. Especially when you work like 6 hours a day and you have all your day to actually decide where to put your comma. So that's not really a problem. The problem is how to come up with a new story every single day.
Yes.
This is a question.
And like here's also something that really stressful is that I think you already know this. I'm sure you already know this. But for people who don't know, your writings, your show, they go like through Rais Tahrir, we call him. Yes. So he has to read. And if something is quite messed up with your, like if your work is not perfect, but like close to that, it could be all like just be, you know, it could all go.
Yeah.
Even because sometimes they can't just correct you like with everything. And the Rais Tahrir are like very strict. I don't understand why. Like they're very strict and very hard to deal with.
Yeah.
So, they also like to use very technical terms when they're talking to you. And sometimes you don't know what that means exactly. So, for example, instead of telling you a title, I tell you like the headline of the you know, like I just make it really complicated. Yeah. So,
But that's bad for work. Like, that's not very productive.
Really,
like,
it makes you really stressed. Like, it puts you under that stress.
But you shouldn't be, if you start working in this field, you shouldn't be stressed about that.
Yeah, of course.
Because most probably knowing you're not going to write ridiculous things.
Yeah.
I think the articles that you would be writing are going to be pretty decent. And
hopefully.
I don't think Rais Tahrir is going to correct much.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I haven't written in Arabic like since al-Bak.
Oh yeah,
and
I know. When I saw your articles in Arabic, I was like, "This is not like Emmy." Like I don't know. I felt like you wouldn't.
Yeah. And I'm writing in Arabic, and things are fine. Like I give my articles to Rais Tahrir, and she's like, okay, great.
Oh, she's a woman.
Yes, she's a girl, and or a woman.
I think that's good.
And this is not the part of the job that is stressful. The part of the job that is stressful is
doing it every day.
Not being able to come up with
ideas
with a recent enough, important enough. Interesting enough.
I see why, because you write about technology and the latest things in technology. So maybe this is like you have to write in some points about something that happened like long time ago, or you can't just always have new things happening in the field.
Yes, interesting and important things don't happen every day.
Don't happen every day, especially in the field like technology and like if Tesla, for example, says they're gonna make a car, it's gonna take like years. You know, like
exactly.
I understand. I totally understand this part.
Yeah, so this is one part, and even if you talk about politics and stuff, it's still news don't come up every day still.
Yeah,
so
true.
You have to do like the news every 8 p.m. for example. And what are you going to talk about?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why they add the cultural and the... If you notice,
but then even the cultural stuff,
they don't happen
especially during Corona time.
That's why they try so hard, because at some points, like they go like, okay, we got nothing to speak about like سياحة في الجزائر. So they just be like going to Sharia and be like سياحة في الشارع, and there's nothing, like you just go there and maybe there are like couple of activities that you could be doing, but no one is like investing enough, and then you need to be like the wonderful, you know. So I understand.
Internationally there are a lot of things happening, like you could talk about India, and you could talk about Palestine, and you could talk about like the United States, etc. So you're okay. But if you talk about أخبار محلية, even politics, sometimes it's stalling, and it's not,
Totally understandable.
So you'll have to, you're pressured to come up with a new story, even when there is nothing to talk about. So this is,
and I think in the field, I think in the field of technology and science, you cannot really improvise, if that makes sense. You can't just.
Well, a priori, you can't really improvise in any subject, because you can't really come up with stories from your mind. But they do.
They do. Yes, they do.
They actually do. So I kinda was a bit shocked by how the ethics of everything.
I told you on the first podcast, like I saw things like happening there, and I was like shocked, because here's the thing: when you are studying there, and then when you start becoming a part of the people who work there, you see how much the environment is toxic, and like here's the thing: away from all the things that could go wrong, like even if you have a friend who's a journalist, so you go together, you can have sleepovers together, he can be like a part of your family, but then when it comes to work, you don't talk about your ideas to him. You don't even like know, because if they steal it, it's work. You can't just be like, oh no man, you didn't, nothing personal when it comes to journalism.
The competition between them is extreme.
Yes, it is. So even though like there's no way all the journalists will be like friends, and there's no way. And I don't like that. Like I'm a very like friendly person, like I like to talk to people and all, but like a one mistake and the work of like a month could just go away. And about what you're afraid of, I think what I'm afraid of is if you, and not intentionally, kind of end up talking about something that will bring you a lot of trouble. Because a lot of journalists don't use their real names, and if they take you and like ask you about your resources, and the thing is sometimes you're pressured. So if you tell your resources, you'll lose them. And no one will trust you again with resources. But then if you don't, you're in a bad position with the police officers. So what would you do? Like a good journalist will never tell you about their resources, but then they'll be like pressuring you. So that terrifies me. I feel like that's something that.
But you could still kind of lie about your resources.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you should do as a good journalist. You should just lie about it, and that's it. Just escape with it.
Absolutely, so otherwise it's an interesting job.
Yes,
it's not
it
like
is.
other jobs. It's a job where you can be very, very creative.
Totally.
And I'm pretty happy doing what I'm doing for now.
For now.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna turn on the AC.
Okay, go ahead and do it.
And actually turn on the light, because I'm all dark.
Okay, go ahead and do it. And I'm gonna be eating the chocolate. Hey, Malak.
You're looking very good.
Really? Thank you. Which coffee is this? I don't know why, but it tastes so good.
It's Nescafe Gold. All right.
Oh my god, I just realized that I put my chocolate here, and then I put it inside my mouth.
It's okay. You have antibodies. Can I have some?
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
This is what this podcast today is about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about chocolate.
It's ASMR, so.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about your surname.
Oh my God, yes. So a lot of people liked the story of last time, and I confirmed it. It's real, 100%.
The lion
story. So when I went to my grandfather, like it was in Eid, the last one. So I told him, so the story is it like 100% real? And he was like, how could you? Like he was not mad, but like kind of, how could you ask? So yeah, the gifts they would give, it's called Mhiba. So it's basically the same thing that like. It's kind of you show your appreciation for the person, you know, blah blah. So yeah, it's still a thing and it's still happening. And yeah, I feel really bad that I'm not going to Ganzet anymore. And yes, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the story of my surname, my family, where I come from originally. And disclaimer, this is like the history of my family. This is what my grandfather has been telling us for like, they have been telling us for generations. Yeah. So anything could go wrong. Like if someone exaggerated, the next generations, they all like...
But this is the official story.
So I'm going to tell you this. This is the official story. So yeah, we're going to see. So basically, my grandfather from like the 11th century, his name was...
the 11th century.
Yeah, it's about the.
So 1000. Year 1000.
So I'm not sure, but it's about Qalat ibn Hamad.
Okay, where is it?
So basically, it's in Msila.
Okay.
It's in Msila. So basically, the Qalat ibn Hamad, it served for the first capital of the Hamadi. Not Hamadi. It's we say Hamadid. Density. So
microphone.
So basically,
okay.
Yeah. So basically, it's in Msila, in the mountains of Hodna, I guess if you know that. So he used to live there with his family, and his name was Ya'la. And the entire like the place that I came from, like his mansion and then his kids and all, we all were called Bni Ya'la.
Yes.
All of us. And then all of us, yeah, I was there. And then basically he would go every day to his field. He would take like the fruit and the vegetables. He would put them in his like animal. I'm not sure, not a horse, like a donkey.
Okay.
And then he would like hit him. He would go home. They would take the vegetables. He would get back, and he would do the same thing like every day. And basically. What happened one day is that he sent the donkey, but he never came back.
Ooh, okay.
So he went like, okay, something is not like suspicious because this never happened before. So what he did is that he followed the path that his donkey would usually take.
Yeah.
And he found out that the donkey was like killed.
Ooh.
The donkey was like killed, and like the vegetables were gone.
Okay.
So what happened is that the people of his village, alhamdulillah, they warned them. Basically, he told them they told him that people from Yemen came.
Okay.
So they're called Bni Hilal. They're very famous. So they came because basically poverty was happening in Yemen and people didn't find anything to eat. So their king told them, go and find somewhere where you can like just eat and all. So yeah, they ended up coming to Algeria. And there's still people in Algeria who are named Hilal or Bni Hilal. It still exists. So basically he went to his house and he told his children and his wife, like they say in this exact word, that there's no safety in this place anymore. So we're taking whatever we can take and we're leaving.
Okay.
Basically. So they left and they were just walking and for like months until one day his son, he had a Capricorn. So it's like a Jadi, I think in Arabic. So he has this like beard, tall beard.
Yes.
Yeah. So they were all sitting and then he came back and he had like water in his like beard.
Okay.
Long beard. So my grandfather said that, okay, so there's water in this place somewhere.
Okay.
And he sent he waited until he got back to the river.
Yeah.
And then he found it. And that place is Ganzet. And it is where I'm now from. So they stayed in that place because they found water in it, and it's a very beautiful place and all.
Okay.
It's actually now considered in Stif, but it's closer to Bjaya than Stif. If that makes sense.
Yes,
if that makes sense.
Yes.
So basically, the river was called Abed, in Arabic it's Abed, and it still exists. So to this day, it still exists in in Gazette. Yeah. And then in
so your family is from Gazette.
Yes.
Okay.
And then when France came to Algeria, the colonialism and all, what happened is they were asking. Oh, so basically, when my family stayed there, we became Bni Athman. So we were like divided into too many huge families, and then every family had like a trial leader, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they would go to the trial leaders and ask them, "Hey,
tribe leader."
Sorry.
Tribe.
Yeah, tribal. Leaders.
Yes.
And they would ask them, what is your name? So when France came, So, some people just made fun of the situation. They were like, like, what are the funny surnames? Like, there are people who said, like, Ben Ahmar or something. So they were like, okay, this is your surname.
Okay.
Like, it was that way in the time when France was in Algeria. That's why you find the الكتابة السابقة الاسم باللاتينية, if that makes sense.
Never saw that.
It is in your like papers. It's
okay.
Like you find it. So basically, when they got to our tribal, so they asked the leader, "What is your surname?" So he said, "Azala." So the soldier was like, "Okay, me Azala," and this is how my name is Azala.
I see. So you know the history of your family from back?
Yeah.
Like from the 11th century.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's a really important thing in my family. I don't know, like, my grandfather told me this story, like not even my father. So that shows you how much it's really important in my family.
Yeah.
It's like we kept it, like it was going on for like a long time.
Yeah, and you still live there.
Who?
Your family.
Yeah, there is still like my father's aunt still lives there, and like there are some of my family members who still live there. Yeah.
This is super interesting.
Yes, it is. I find this super interesting, and the place there is very beautiful, and the people are very like nice, and I love going there because it feels like home, like literally. Yeah. If that makes sense. So yeah, I find this really cool because even if I didn't know my family history, I would love to know, because I feel like in Algeria you can't just look at someone and be like, hey, you're Algerian. Like there is no way. I feel like not just Algerians, like North Africans, if that makes sense. We don't look like anything specific. Yeah,
we have many.
Yeah. So basically, I don't know, but it's really good to know where you're from, at least.
I see. Yeah. I think I'm gonna try to do the same with my own ancestors. Like try to look up where they're from.
That would be so cool.
Yeah,
that'd be so cool.
And would be interesting to understand like what do I look like? Like am I? Do I look like? Am I like from North Africa or? Am
I really ask myself this question all the time. Yeah. Because my entire family does not look like. They don't look like. I don't know what North Africans look like.
They kind of do look Mediterranean.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. You look a bit Asian. You look Asian.
Yeah, it makes no sense because Asian people came to like Europe, etc. very, very recently.
So my dad's side, like my paternal side, my cousins, they all look Asian, but like some of them look really Asian. Yeah. Like not like, like really. So that's also also a mystery. So to see where. Yeah.
Okay, so
now I'm interested in that.
There's this historical fact of Genghis Khan raping every woman he found in his way, and apparently like half of humanity is fathered by or ancestored by Genghis Khan. So
how is this scientifically?
Not scientifically, because history is not really science. But
I know, but like, is this like, could it? Oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah, maybe Genghis Khan is accidentally our ancestor, and this is why we look Asian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanna talk about something else.
Oh, tell me.
Which is the last podcast that I did.
Oh, what was it?
And I wanna have your opinion about the subject of that podcast. I haven't
seen it. Because I have no excuse for that, but I haven't seen it.
No. You have excuses because one of the excuses is خرج البارح ولا البارح.
Okay, yeah. That's
why
probably, and also like because I really haven't been seeing a lot of podcasts lately. Yeah. So because of studying and work. Oh, we're gonna talk about that later.
Okay, so what happened is I've had Rami Zamushi on. Don't know if you know him. But we talked about, when Rami Zamushi came, he had just done like some stories on his Instagram where he went to this university. I don't know exactly what university it is, and he found out that university, it's a med school. It's a medical university. Okay? And he found out that it is surrounded by important places, like governmental places and things like that. So it has like the location of it is kind of strategic. And he said that instead of sending med students there, we should send the elites.
Oh.
And this was very, very controversial because the med students were like, hey, are you saying that med students aren't actually elite? Or are you saying that some people are elite and some people aren't? And things like that.
So I think it's about priorities, because if you have such a strategic place, med students don't necessarily need the government or anything like I don't know if that makes sense. Like I don't think I think if it's that place is that strategic, then it should have been like something more government related or something.
Yeah.
But I'm not like
science politique.
Yeah, for example.
Yeah.
Like it makes more sense because it will make education much easier to be surrounded by your field.
Yeah.
But it depends on if the university is old and it has been there all along, or you know.
Yeah. Well,
what did you think though?
I think seeing it and saying it this way, like saying that
was a bit totally. I totally agree.
Yeah, like hey, since this university is surrounded by governmental places, like let's put Sciences Po and history students, etc.
Here's the thing. Even though he was giving his opinion, it's not like the government's gonna come and change the place. There is no way you could like change a med school into like. Hopefully they have like labs there, you know. And
actually they can. They can do that. The government can do that, and they did that many times.
Yeah.
For example, I don't think. Well, I think La Fac Centrale ما ولاتش فيها medicine. I think مازال. I don't know. I'm not sure. But La Fac Centrale, I think, they changed whatever they were studying there many times, and there was a problem with the word elite.
Yeah, I get it. Like what? Like we're not like cool enough. Like we're not important enough for the place.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that was. I think if he said it like maybe differently, like with a more respectful way, because I don't know, if I was a med student there, if I were a med student there, I'm gonna be like a bit pissed at this. Like how could you say that?
Yeah.
I think that they have the right to be hurt in somehow. Like.
What are you going to choose after bac?
Oh my God.
You still don't know?
I do. Basically, listen, here's the thing. I believe that it's true we have like a one lifetime. And a lot of people say, since I have a one lifetime, I have to choose one thing. Okay. Which doesn't make sense. So if you have a one lifetime, you should do a lot of things. Yeah. Like this is what makes sense. But for people, it's like, no, I have one life. I'm gonna I want it to be a journalist, and I already did it because I want to know what it feels like. Yeah. Because if I'm gonna be doing this for the rest of my life, it better be good. You know. Yeah. I don't want to be bored. I don't want to regret it. I just make sure regret never like hunts me. Let me give you an example where I actually felt this, because I have siblings, you know that, and they're like more like my children. This is what I feel for them. So basically, the one thing I make sure is that I'm not gonna do anything to them that is gonna hunt me as regret when they grow up. Okay. For example, they
not do something.
Yeah, like for example, let's say your parents, you wanted to use a major. Your parents said no, you are choosing another, and then you grow up and then you're not like happy. Then this guilt, it will follow your parents until like they die. I see. If that makes sense.
Well, some parents, not
so
every parent.
It's still there. If they don't feel it or not, that's their responsibility. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it is there. It was their fault that you're not happy with your life.
Yes.
So
you're gonna blame them.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. I was like, if I think that much about other people, like my siblings, why don't I think the same about myself?
Yeah.
You know? So if I'm going to be like, I don't want to be doing only one thing. So I already did journalism. I know what it feels like. I wanted to be an English teacher just because I speak English and I really enjoy teaching people. And I am in the process of doing it right now. I want to know what it feels like. And I want to live the experience and enjoy it. So one thing left that I want to do is medicine.
Okay.
So I'm probably not gonna do it in university, and let me tell you why. Now, studying it takes 7 years, and
it's a huge sacrifice.
Yeah,
and
I am not the type of people to just like be studying all the time. I want to do other things in life. Like my mom always tells me like, "Hey, do you think you're gonna die young? Like, why are you trying to be so like in rush?"
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's just that life has a lot of angles to it, and I just want to test
and the
each
problem
one.
And the problem with med studies is that I know a lot of people who study medicine and they do nothing else in their life. It's not that they are not interested in doing some other things. They don't have time to do.
Let me tell you why.
Else.
Because our brain is naturally like lazy. Like sometimes you're just gonna like study and then you suddenly feel like you want to sleep, even if you're not tired. So here's the thing. If you are a med student, even if you have time to do like little activities, you're like, no, I'm a med student. Like med students don't have time to do it.
I think it's the case for some people.
Because like I know med students who like there's Dr. Mike. He is on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. He basically puts in the week I think 2 videos. He hosts a show of like medicine and international like in international TV. Yeah. And he also studies and works as medicine, family medicine.
Okay.
So, you know, how hard is that? And he still did it.
Okay. So the thing is, I don't know how things happen in abroad, but I know a lot of friends who study medicine and they show me like what they have to study for the week.
Yeah.
And it's unfair.
It's a lot of lectures and it's
just unfair.
Let me tell you why. Because
like books and books every week.
A lot of people think that even now the students who get high like grades that they are like just smart, like they're genius. Listen, education in Algeria is really about memorizing. Whether you like this or not, even like physics, math, science, even in high school, middle school. Yeah. If you manage to take the information from your short-term memory to your long-term memory, that's it. Yeah. You are an excellent student. I put you in a life situation and some of them are like stuck. They don't know what to do. They have no experience. They're like,
you know, something
they cannot
something
even
weird,
talk about.
Something weird that happened to me recently.
Okay.
So this is a colleague of mine. He's a journalist. And we were going to record our voices like voiceover.
Okay.
Right. Voiceover video. And he started like doing some recital. Like he started like saying things that he has in his long-term memory. And the things that he was saying in Arabic in Fusha was الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية like in World War II was fighting USSR. And I was like, excuse me?
Wait, no.
قلت له like, hey, you're wrong. USSR did not fight USA in World War II. They were allies. And he was like, hey, حفظتها في الباك. Don't contradict me now.
Okay.
Yeah. قلت له, excuse me, قلت له, this is fact. قال لي راني حافظها, like literally how it was written. Yes. And of course, historically it makes no sense. And everything. But like, because حفظت and غلط في كلمة صغيرة.
Yeah.
Like instead of saying Germany, you said USSR.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to you if
Yes, this is the thing with the long-term memory. Like you're very confident. It's just like the song's lyrics, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like sometimes you're singing, and even if someone corrects you, you're like, no, there's no way. Like it's a song, and I've been singing it for like most of my life, so we're not gonna argue about that. So same thing. So basically, this is the secret, I guess. If anyone who's in middle school, high school, and watching, you just gotta memorize everything. So here's the technique. Do you want me to share this too?
Okay.
So you basically, let's say not history. Let's just say it's science. So you don't need to be super smart, you know, when it comes to even science. So you take whatever paper you have. The day you do the test, the day you do the lesson, you just read it. like briefly, like whatever, read it with your eyes. Try to like not just read it like you did read it, like try to focus a bit, like you read it and you know what you're reading, because it happens to me even when I'm reading books. I'm like reading a page and I'm like, wait, what happened in that page? So I just get back and read it again. So make sure you read carefully, and then whatever, the next time you do another lesson, you read the lesson previously that you did previously and today's lesson, and the day of the exam will come, and at least like listen, I'm not gonna say you're gonna be 100% you know like the words, but you know at least what is it about. Because this is the problem. People think that, oh, I can memorize 5 pages in like one night, but then they had no clue. It's not familiar to them, if that makes sense. So if something is just like not familiar to you at all, it's hard for your brain to be like, okay, I'm taking you to my long-term memory. It's like an outsider to your brain, if that makes sense, to your memory. So that's it. That's all you need to do. It's just like a song.
Yeah. And there's this thing about our brain, which is it's not designed to learn medicine. It's designed to help us survive. Right. Like if it is a technique that will help you, like, I don't know, defend yourself against an elephant attack when you are surrounded by elephants, like if you live in the savannah, you're gonna learn it, right?
Because you gotta learn it.
Yeah,
you gotta survive.
You know, this is a question of life and death. And the other thing about our brain is it's resource limited. By resource limited, I mean energy limited. Like
even though our memory is like endless, kind of.
It's big, but creating new neurons just for something that isn't very important to your brain. That's very difficult, because you know, the computer, your laptop. Yeah. Like when you plug it to the wall, it's fast and it's quick, etc. Yeah. But when you unplug it, it suddenly becomes like very, very lazy. I don't know if you've noticed that. It goes into energy saving mode. Yeah. And our brain isn't plugged to anything. Yeah, it just works like that. Yes, it like just works with whatever energy you have in your body. Yes, until you eat again. Yeah, I also think that it's very easy to fool human brain. Of course. Yes. It's really easy to fool your brain. Stuff. Yeah, it's really easy to fool your brain, and you can just use this to your own like good, your own wellness. So I think that it's also like, here's the thing, human brain is also very stupid. Okay. Like in some certain things. Sometimes you memorize things that you don't necessarily need and you just like not just songs, like even like the details of an embarrassing moment that happened to you. Yes, like sometimes I'm going to sleep, I'm trying to sleep, I'm like, oh my god, I remember that one time when I did that one thing and then it didn't even happen, but it almost happened. And I'm like, oh my god, I freak out. What if it happened? What would it be? How would things be? Oh my god, like it's really bad. It's like really bad. And also here's the thing, I have a lot of not mood swings, but like sometimes I'm like, yeah, I can do this, whatever. I'm like, I'm meant for this. And then 2 minutes, like for example, I need to sell someone a text saying something like, I don't know, like not aggressive though, anything that's important or that I didn't want to say, but then I want to say. So I send the message. I'm like, yeah, I'm a badass. And then 2 minutes, like I'm like, oh my god, did they see it? They didn't see it. Yeah, I delete it. Straight up, like human brain is like, okay, I'm gonna make you feel comfortable for this moment, and then I'll remind you of what you just did. You know, I'll remind you of how terrible what you've just did. Like, oh my god. And let's don't talk about the scenarios that never happened that you think that it's really tiring, human brain though. Another thing I want to criticize the med students about, also architecture students, because I see this a lot in architecture students and medicine students, which is they suck at how the world works. Let me explain. Okay, not just like socially or maybe. Okay, let's see if we have the same. Okay. I'm talking about like physics, mathematics, etc. Oh yeah. For example, okay, this is my. You need very basic maths. Yeah. To be a doctor, by the way. You just need very basic maths. Like maths to be a doctor. Yeah, but you know, learning mathematics will help you kind of understand how the world works. Right. It messes with your brain a little bit, like wake up, like. Yeah, it kind of does. It's kind of a workout to your brain. It is. So that makes sense. Yeah. But at the same time, you start having like very rational thoughts about what is happening. Right. True. Like for example, if you know mathematics very well, you're gonna have a hard time believing like okay, my patient سحره. Oh That's why he's sick. Which is the case with a lot of doctors that we have. Like, hey, dude, I can't do anything for you because tak مسحور.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is one.
If you think about it, سحور, even if like some form of سحور exists, it's all chemicals and stuff.
Is it? Because can we actually experiment on it?
No, but
I don't know. Can we?
But okay.
If we can, let's do that.
So there is no. I don't want to end up in this واحد. No, but here's what I think.
But why not? Since
it is. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, since we open people's brains.
Yeah.
Why not نسحرهم and actually see what changed?
Okay, so I saw this very interesting video. There is this guy. His name is Anthony Padilla.
Okay.
Anthony Padilla. He has like a podcast, but he would just sit he will invite people who are from not strange people, but unusual people to invite. Like for example, you know him. Listen, let me tell you a story.
He had witches on.
Yeah, the day I discovered his channel, I didn't sleep. I was just watching. I watched all the videos. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
I discovered a lot of mental illnesses that I didn't know about, like DID. I found DID the most interesting.
What is DID?
So DID is a disorder in personality. It's a multiple when someone, here's the thing, it's not like انفصام شخصية. It's quite different because I'm a person, my name is Malak,
and you have
I'm 16. No, I don't. I'm giving an example, please don't
Okay.
So I'm Malak, I'm 16 and I'm the host of this body. I love music, okay? Now, if you will, for example, make a certain sound, and I'm the host of this body. I know I'm Malak. I'm the host, okay? Now, if you make, for example, a sound, if it will rain right now, I will just switch. Someone else would come, and this person is Amin. He's 28 years old, and he makes podcasts. And his religion is Christianity. Mine is Islam.
Okay.
You see? It's not like انفصام شخصية. It's one person, but they got different people inside. Literally, they have their own minds, they have their own preferences, they have their own even religions. And I thought that, okay, this is ridiculous.
It's like having different sessions on Windows.
Yeah. Oh my God, exactly. This is...
Yeah.
Yes, this is it, exactly. And I thought that this cannot be a thing.
Or maybe it's because they opened... they're trying to have free trials.
Yeah, free trials. Oh my God. That's what I'm thinking, seriously. But no, here's the thing. Think about it this way. So... you wake up and then you don't know what you did last time. Last night, you it's crazy. And this is how I think about it. How are you supposed to have a normal life? How are you supposed to study? How are you supposed to get married? How are you supposed, if you live like this? So there's this one girl that told a story saying that she woke up in the hot tub, and then she was like, why am I holding a banana in my hand?
Yeah.
And then it was her other, I think they call them Aura, who did that. So she just was like, yeah, I'm done, switch, It's that weird. And I thought it's not here's the thing, even my brain didn't realize that, except that this could be a thing. But it is a thing. It's a medical condition.
Yeah.
It's a mental illness. How cool is that? What were we talking about?
That's cool.
What were we talking about?
We're going to go back to what we were talking about.
What were we talking about?
I remember. You were talking about
the witch. Yeah. So we're talking. So I told you that I saw the video of the witchcraft, and this guy said that basically the first time I practiced witchcraft, there's this one girl in my school that I used to hate a lot, and I wished she would move out.
I saw that video.
Yeah. So basically, what he did is that he took her hair, and this terrified me because a lot of people touch my hair for no reason. I swear to God, sometimes I don't know them. Women, I don't know, which is so weird to me. I'd never do this to someone, and they just go oh, you have beautiful hair, and they leave.
You have beautiful hair.
You have beautiful hair. There we go, witchcraft. No, seriously, I'm not Mususa in that side, not at all.
Yeah.
But basically, he said that he then bought No, it wasn't that one. He said that the hair, he tied it 16 times, I guess, and then he did this spell on it, and he flushed it to the toilet, and then 2 weeks later, she was out of the school. She got in trouble, and she was out of the school.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe this is a coincidence.
Exactly.
But then.
And then?
But then they were all saying different things. Here's the thing. I refuse to think that only chemicals can, because it's a power. We would have all wanted to.
You know what kind of power I think it is?
What?
I think it's placebo effect.
What is that? Explain to me.
So there's this experiment. they had like people, they did not know it was an experiment. But they were in the hospital and they gave them pills. And this guy, for example, he took that pill, and then the doctor came to him and he was like, don't tell me you took that pill. Don't tell me you took that. He was like panicking. The doctor was panicking. He was like, why? Oh my God, you're going to die. We need to do things to you, etc., etc. And then what happened to him? His heart was actually almost giving up 5 minutes later. And then they told him, hey, that pill that you took, it's not actually, it's nothing. It's like just something that can be diluted in water. It's like salt.
It's like salt, yeah.
So the thing that, and right away when they told him that, he was feeling much better.
Much better.
But they told him that, like right before he was about to pass out. And his heart was about to give up.
Yes.
Do you understand like the power of believing
basically,
what is happening?
Once my mom gave me this chain. It was gold, and she told me keep it for me. And I was young, but she really trusted me on things. And I just somehow forgot. I don't know, I don't remember anything. And then I lost it. I don't remember anything.
Happens.
And I was freaking out. Hey, I gave it to her back. And I didn't remember.
Ooh,
and I was like, listen, my heart almost stopped. And she was at home and I was acting like nothing is going wrong. And I was just looking everywhere. I was like, listen, seriously, when I tell you I almost had a heart attack, I got there. I felt like, oh my God, it's like gold, And then I went there and I was like, that's it. I was like, Mom, I lost it. And I started crying. And then she was like, what were you talking about? And she told me that you gave it to me.
Wow.
And my heart I was in primary school and still remember this. This wasn't so I think, yes, it could be powerful, but there are a lot of things that we cannot explain. I saw people on the internet, on TV, who had blood coming out of their eyes and it could not be scientifically explained. I saw people who have rocks inside their eyes and it could be, I feel like there are a lot of things in the world who are out of our understanding.
Of course,
superpowers, not superpowers as Batman and Spider-Man, not in that sense, because I think that social media and Hollywood and they influenced us to think of a lot of things differently, what a superpower means, what ugly means, what beautiful means, what a lot of things. And it affected us in a way that if you tell me superpower, I'll think of you jumping out of the building and still can fly, and you know. But maybe there are a lot of things that are much more than that, like witchcraft.
Well,
and it could be a thing.
I can actually explain witchcraft with placebo effect. Do you understand what placebo effect is?
Yes, I do. But I think it's not just
thinking something is true. Makes it kind of true in your brain.
Which makes, for example, the law of attraction could be a thing. What's law of attraction? So when you basically think that, I am wealthy and I'm healthy and I'm, I don't know, this and this and that, and you tell it to yourself every day, and then in some points it will happen to you. Now here's what I don't agree on. You cannot just sit at home and wish for things to happen. But I think that, for example, let's say I want to be a doctor. So if I just stay at home and I'm like, a doctor, I want to be a doctor, this will not do anything. But if I will, for example, I have, I'm meditating and I have a session and I visualize what it would feel like to be a doctor. So I'm in my office, sitting, I'm seeing my patients and I'm living the life, if you know what I mean. That would give me kind of something to stick to, this is what it would feel like when I feel like giving up, because I do this to myself when I'm studying sometimes, and I don't always study, I'm not gonna lie to you, but tomorrow is the exam, so I go listen, you whether go to sleep and be a loser or you just stay here and you finish what you gotta finish, and and be whatever, just prove to yourself that you are strong enough and you can resist to go to sleep, you are weaker than just going to sleep, you know what I mean? So I think it does help. But these things, here's the problem with these things. They are called pseudoscience, if you heard about this. So you cannot test this. You cannot be hey, 1 + 1 = 2. Like I can't tell you. I mean, you have to do 3 sessions of meditation a day and visualize this and that to get the Porsche. You know, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I think pseudoscience works a lot with, as I said, placebo effect, and also when you think that the law of attraction. When you think like, hey, I'm 12 years old, but I know I am actually a doctor, right? So you're gonna do whatever needs to be done in order to become a doctor someday. Yes. Because your brain is going to link the fact that you're a doctor with your actual existence.
And you're like, if I it's worth it. Because
so if you have like an exam tomorrow, you're going to stay up all night studying for it because you know this is how you're going to survive. Yeah. But if someone decides that, hey, I'm not a doctor, I'm gonna be and I don't care.
Yeah.
So then your brain is going to tell him, hey, because you're going to bed batata غدوة.
Yes.
Right. So this is one thing. The other thing is confirmation bias. Do you know what it is?
What is it?
Confirmation bias.
What is that?
For example, if you decide that
bias means.
If you decide that all blondes are stupid.
For
example,
there is this saying, people think blonde people are stupid.
Yeah, so whenever you see a blonde person doing a stupid thing, you'd be like, my
you relate this
applies. Yeah, but then when they do clever things, you'd be like, okay, whatever.
Oh yeah, I totally understand this.
And this is not like an attitude. This is actually how our brain works.
True.
Like whenever something you believe in, something
and this is how racism happens. Like in America, they see a black person, they're like, he's black.
Whenever a black person does something bad, like a crime, they'd be like, hey, we told you.
Yeah, you're black. You know, even though it's the same thing with terrorism, for example.
Yeah.
Like when did the terrorism? Merci. What did he say? Okay, so when you think of how many times terrorism happened in the US lately, we have just the 11 December events.
September.
Like what did I say? December. Yeah, anyways, September happened, and they just like, okay, a person who's Arab, terrorist. But then when you think of terrorism, it happens every day in America. Like they got people who shoot people like inside schools. They go because they, you know that Americans can own a gun, like whatever, like even if you're a normal citizen.
What do you think? Do you think that's crazy?
I think that if you are willing to give a person a gun, you need to have them on like real tests. I'm not talking how to shoot. I'm talking about mental. I'm talking about, and listen, you cannot, maybe you are, for example, I interview you to give you a gun, and I'm like, like, describe yourself in your daily life, and you're like, oh, I'm a very friendly person, I'm a very happy person, I'm a very social person, whatever. But I want a gun just in case, because I live in a forest. Like, my house is in the middle of a forest. It's like a place where, and then one day you get home and your wife is talking to you. She's like, hey, I need to tell you something. I cheated on you. The gun, and you shoot her. Yeah. Because you're human. You know, like you're not trained to control your actions. A police officer is. Even like some police officers don't even have like the what are they called?
The
real like
bullets.
The real bullets. They have like the plastic. I think they call them.
Police officers are human beings and they can do mistakes.
Yeah, but it's their job. It's like hey,
even if it's their job.
But then it's my listen. If you're a police officer and you mess up like that. When I take you to a judge, it was your only job to do. But then if you're a normal person, I gave you the gun and I knew, like, listen, no matter what, like, it could go wrong. Like, you have no guarantees. Why would the government...
Why not judge people like police officers? Like, hey, this is a gun to protect yourself. You can buy it, right? You can use it. You can carry it. But then at the same time, if you mess up with it, you're going to have... you're gonna be sentenced to life. Like if you kill someone, you're gonna end up in prison forever.
When people like all the crimes that have happened in the past years, do you think that people, this is what they think? When you get to the point where you you kill someone, that means you didn't stand to think of what could happen, like the results. This is the tricky thing about human brain. Just like suiciding. there's something that we did. Like I remember next year we're all sitting together in like Am Center, and we were talking about people who commit suicide, and we said something that I really regret saying. Like I don't know, it's not that I regret saying it, but my angle, like how I see things changed. So we said that, hey, if I'm gonna commit suicide, I said this. I said, if I'm gonna commit suicide, I'll make sure I go eat the biggest meal ever and not pay. And you remember, right?
So suddenly you're not committing suicide anymore.
No, I said that, okay, if I'm gonna die anyways, I'm gonna do everything that I want.
I'm gonna spend all of my money.
Yeah, I don't have any at this point, but yeah. And I'll just go to shoppings and like run, steal, kill someone. I don't know, like I wouldn't kill someone, but you know what I mean. Like
you're gonna spend the day living the life like it's a video game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
because you have nothing to lose anyway.
Yeah, and I'm gonna commit suicide. Now, what we haven't thought of, when you get to the point where you're actually, I'm not talking about people who like, I'm gonna suicide, you know, like, but they never, because they let you know. Like, I'm talking about someone who like just actually tries to kill themselves. Like that's it. He's not gonna tell anyone, go and jump out of the you know, like something like that. So if you get to the point where you're like, this life is not for me anymore, and that's it, I'm gonna kill myself, you wouldn't think of going to a restaurant. You wouldn't think of you wouldn't be in the mood to do that. You would like to get to the point where you're like, that's it, I'm ending this life. That means there's no other way for you. Like you see the world like it's black. Do you know? Meals aren't going to taste good. And you're not in hell though. They are. Well, I'm not one to judge. Listen, that was a joke, by the way, just in case. With suicides, it's very, very hard to judge. Exactly, and like I think people's choices generally are hard to judge. But then the where you get to the point where you take your own life, that means something really got messed up in your life. Yeah. Because you don't just like you're talking to your dad, you tell him, I want to go to this trip. He says no, and you're like, I'm gonna suicide. No, it has to be a lot of weight on your shoulders, or you did something and you don't know how to get out of it, and you tried everything, and that's it for you. You know, like it's really hard. Like yeah. So I regret saying that. Yeah. We live and learn, and no, like it was spontaneous. We're laughing, but no, like here's the thing. So when I go home, like now I'll go home, I will rethink all what we're talking right now and all I said in the day. Like this is just me. I will remember things, and I'm like, I rethink it. So the same day actually we said that, I went home and I was like, this happened to oh, I said this, and then I just was like thinking about it, and I was like, that's a bit messed up. Because you gotta see things to judge. Here's the thing about judging. You have to see things from all different angles. Yeah. Like that's how, and put yourself in the other person's shoes. Then maybe you can judge the situation. Yeah. Why did this get so deep? It's very, very, very difficult to put yourself in other people's shoes. It is. For example, I've been with friends on a road trip, and one of my friends told us that his friend committed suicide recently, and that he did not understand why, and that like he believed, and his friend believed that if he committed suicide, he would go to hell, and like to him it made no sense. And I and another one of another friend of mine, we were saying that you really, really do not understand the state of mind that he was in before he committed suicide. Exactly. Like this is not like I'm on a road trip and I'm gonna commit suicide later. Yeah, this is not like that. This is not how it works. It's really gore thinking. Like it's very like you. It's like, I don't know if this ever happened to you. Tell me. But you know, when you have a 2-day weekend. 2 days weekend. Oh, for example, Friday and Saturday. Yeah. Yeah. The Fridays, you're like, okay, tomorrow I'm waking up very late and doesn't matter, etc. But then on Saturdays, you start becoming like focused and stressed about Sunday, about your first day at work or at school. Right. So you're not going to enjoy such a day as much as you would have been enjoying it if you did not work Sundays. Yes. So your mind is focused on the next thing. Yeah. So if you decide to commit suicide, your mind is going to be focused on, hey, I'm going to die.
right?
Exactly.
And there would be like an internal fight always. Like parts of you is going to tell you, hey, you need to die, and the other part is going to tell you, you need to survive.
But then one of them will win. Like it depends on the state that you're in,
and it depends on the circumstances. Like what if you have a gun in your house? It's not the same thing as not having a gun in your house.
It's easier to do. Exactly, it's attempted. Like you will, like it's easier for you to do it.
If you don't have the means to do it, maybe it's going to buy you time.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get out of your depression like the next day.
Listen, because I think we will lie if we say that we never got this idea. I mean, it's gonna be like, no, I've never. But this, not like at least the idea of like I'm done. Like I'm like done. And sometimes like here's people like be like
fuck life.
Yeah. People like be like literally just breaking up. Listen, I'm not rude for saying just, but here's the thing. There's plenty of fish in the sea. Take it that way. Like it's true, you're gonna be very mad and like you think life is over, but then you're gonna get over it, because here's what you should think: how many people were in that position, they got over it, then you can do it too.
You know the thing about getting over a breakup.
No, I don't.
I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people say this to me, and I think I tried it too. When you go through a breakup, you're gonna have to start a new personality. Like if it was a serious enough relationship.
Yes.
Because let me explain to you why. Every relationship, every like couple has its own kind of micro culture inside it.
Yeah, like.
What if I told you, hey, from now on, Algeria doesn't exist anymore? Right. And like, hey, my language. Like my language, my history, my dreams in this country, etc.
Totally,
they don't exist anymore.
I understand.
And I'll need to learn a new language, and I need to like find a new country to live in, etc. It's very, very difficult. So you have to like start a new self. Yeah. This is the problem. Like you're not just giving up on a lover, you're also giving up on.
It's funny you said that, because I'm gonna say a story like something like at least my explanation for not being in a relationship. So I told you about this one guy who used to come to my classroom all the time and stuff. If you're watching, hello.
You know this is.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. Recorded. I don't mind. No, I'm not gonna talk about this. I'm not gonna talk about what I said to him. Like my explanation to why, and he was very shocked. He was like, "Why do you think like that? Like this is so much deep thinking." So here's what I think. Let's say, like, if I'm with someone in a relationship, I don't see it as, hey, yeah, you, me, a relationship.
Can
that's
I have
it.
some chocolate?
Cool. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like really rude. There you go. Rude. Oh, that one was good. Oh, you got it.
It's on camera.
Oh my God, this should go viral.
Okay.
So basically, I told him that I don't think about it just like, yeah, we are two people in a relationship. I think about it this way. Now, it's me and you, right? But then, whatever I do to you, it's going to affect you as a future father, son. Because here's the thing.
Not future son,
though. Future like father, boyfriend. Okay, let's imagine you had a girlfriend and you trusted her so much and then she just like cheated on you. You would, whether you like this or no, you gonna like have trust issues. You might like be very strict with your next girlfriend and like maybe blame her for things that never happened. Maybe you will, because whatever I do, like I take it this way. It's on me. So whatever I do to you, it's like there. It's permanent. Because I just know like some people are like.
Something like this happened to me, which is when I was very young. I was like 16.
My age?
I was your age. I was in a relationship and I took that relationship like super seriously. Like I hate when
16 years old boys be like, no, I want you like my wife. No, boy, it doesn't work like that.
There was only MySpace back then.
It was what?
There was only MySpace back then. Do you know what MySpace is?
Yeah, it's like the
first ever social media. Yeah. And I took that seriously.
My dad told me about it when he said that I used to think l'informatique is a joke and he used to make fun of it. And now he's a data analyst. And like it's his job.
Oh, okay.
It's you should have my father on your podcast. It will be like.
I will have him.
It will be 10 times better than what we're doing right now.
You're saying this bil'ani. You could cheat it.
Dad. Oh, last time. Oh my God, I didn't tell you this. Last time some people, I don't know, like you guys are amazing. They saw the video until like the last minute. They're like, what did your father do to Amin? Because we were saying that we're running late and my father will.
Yeah.
That was so funny. He killed him. He punched him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in this relationship and I took it really, really seriously. Yeah. And then at some point she broke up with me. And And just like that. And yeah, since then I am having issues taking relationships seriously.
Guys, he's 28 years old.
29.
29.
Get used to it, okay?
Yeah, just like you never get my age right. You're like you're 16, right? So basically, yes, he's single. I'm joking.
Are you joking? Like, is he single or is it a joke or?
Oh, listen, you are single to me, but I never know. Maybe you have a secret girlfriend. What if you have a secret girlfriend? Because here's the thing.
What if I have multiple secret girlfriends?
That's what I think you have.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think you have. And I'm joking. I'm just joking.
I wish.
No, here's the thing. Because to me, for example, a lot of people tell me, oh, come on, you have a secret boyfriend. Even if I have a secret boyfriend, I'll never tell you that I have a secret boyfriend because it's a secret boyfriend. You get what I mean?
It's called the irrefutable argument.
Exactly. So why would I tell you?
What if I decide that you don't exist?
Oh, it has a name. What is it? I want to remember that.
Irrefutable argument.
Irrefutable.
And irrefutable arguments aren't really arguments.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Like if I say, okay, let me tell you a joke. So this guy is a flat earther. You know what a flat earther is? Oh my God. And
I watch flat earther videos to laugh every time I'm in a bad mood on YouTube.
But wait, when I finish the story, I'm gonna tell you that flat earth thinking actually has a use. It's useful. I'm gonna explain to you.
Interesting.
But anyway, there's this guy who's called Fred, and he's a flat earther. And then he died. And then he went to meet God. And then when he met God, he was like, he had the chance to ask God whatever, right? And because he was a good Muslim, etc. And he said, hey, God, I've spent my life believing that the earth is flat. And I came to you for confirmation, like, hey, tell me, is the earth really flat, as I used to believe, and everybody was lying, etc. And God said, hey, Fred, look, sorry, but the earth is actually round, and this is how I created it, etc.
Oh my God.
And Fred was like, okay, wow. The conspiration goes really, really up the ladder. It's way worse than I thought. Oh my
God.
Yeah. So he even thought that God himself was conspirating.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. He kept believing that the earth is flat. Even
I think sometimes round earthers, they go really also mean to flat earthers. There's this joke that went really viral. I think it was, I don't know if it was just a meme, but I'm quite sure it was a video. There was a video. So this one guy was like, hey, Earth is flat. And he's like, man, the only flat thing is your girlfriend. And it just went viral.
Wow.
So what? I don't know if it was a meme and then they turned it into a video, or the meme came from the video. But it was I don't know. I laughed a lot then because I was like, oh, that's a good roast. That was really funny. Yeah,
but I think there's a use for it. There's a Twitter account which is called Flat Earth Society, and you think that it's stupid, but then you read their bio and they say we fight against scientific status quos, and when you consider science. Science is against status quos. Always. I
see.
Their goal is to remind people, hey, don't take things for granted. Always.
Totally.
Fact check things.
Fact check.
This is the
fact.
But this is the Twitter account, and this is the Flat Earth Society, etc.
Yeah.
This is not some flat earthers, because some flat earthers are just straight up stupid.
Yeah, I know.
But are they less stupid than people who really believe in astrology?
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah. Totally. It's not about just believing. Listen, let's say you believe. It's okay for you to believe in.
When I read Harry Potter, I believe.
I believe
that Harry Potter is a thing.
Hogwarts is a thing.
Yes.
شوف نبدأ من هاد ستيشن.
But then
نبدأ من هذا train station نبدأ نخبطه في الحياط. شوف here's my plan.
Okay.
نروحوا لتوب شوب. نجيبوا شاريو.
It would be a viral video.
Oh my God.
Yes. نبدأ من
There's a train station here.
Yeah.
احنا رايحين.
Yeah.
Until we figure out.
Okay, so we have to do every train station in the world.
Oh, that's really. Okay, I think we need to go to UK for that.
Yeah.
It's Harry Potter.
Did they even try it? Maybe they did. We're gonna look it up.
Don't put this part of a video on YouTube. We need to be the first people to do it. It's a secret.
We go back to what I find my critic about med students and architecture students. Do you remember we talked about that?
How did you go from that to
witchcraft
in a relationship? No, we went to it's whatever I do to you. Yeah, go ahead.
So the thing is, how do you have a good cook? How do you teach someone cooking?
Okay, so basically,
okay,
I'm a really good cook. Listen, I'm not saying that.
So are you a really good cook because you know a lot of recipes, or are you a really good cook because you know how food works and how heat works, etc.?
I don't know how. I'm not a good cook because I know the technical things, small things. I'm not a good cook because I know a lot of recipes. I'm a good cook because when I go to the fridge and there's a lot of bunch of ingredients that don't make sense, I make food out of it. It's like my food. If that makes sense. And it's delicious.
Okay.
And also because when I started, I had no recipes. Like when I started cooking, I didn't have a phone or YouTube. So basically, I had to babysit my siblings when I was really young. So if I had to stay at them like at home, I had to learn how to cook.
Okay.
If that makes sense. To survive.
So to learn how to cook, did you learn a lot of recipes or did you learn how vegetables work on
Here's how I started. I started like with tomato sauce, white sauce, the basics of the Algerian recipes and all. And let me tell you something. Sometimes like the red sauce, the tomato sauce is like really salty. Sometimes it's really like it has just like if I poured an entire lemon juice in it, and a lot of things. And I used to struggle and I used to be like, oh my God, I'll never make it. And then slowly I tried like, for example, in the white sauce, I used to make a lot of, for example, black pepper. I started making less and it changed the flavor. I started using new spices. And my mom told me, like, for example, this is what works for white sauce. This is what works for red sauce. And then slowly I realized that, the tomato sauce, but the tomato, they call it, the one inside the box, what they call it?
Tomates en concentré.
Yeah, concentré.
Okay.
I don't know what's the English word for that. I'm sorry.
Concentrated tomato.
Okay, there you go.
Fuck your tomato.
Yeah. So instead, I used to just like whatever, I do my thing and then I add water and then I add it. I realized that it should be the first thing before tomato because when it's like actually cooked, it gives a really good flavor to the food.
Okay.
You see, I realized that salt, I like it to be the last thing to put because why? I think that it makes food tastier.
Okay.
But if I'm, for example, making a white sauce, when I put the onions with the oil and the onions, I have to add like a little bit of salt because لو كانت تتقلى وحدها تجي سمطة,
Okay.
So just everything started like clicking. And then once I learned the basics, sauce bechamel, whatever, this and that, I was like, that's it. I tried a lot of recipes and now I make like Indian food. I made like butter chicken, biryani, like all the type of. I made tacos, which was the best thing I made. I'm talking guys about real tacos. I did send you the pictures.
Yeah, but I mean.
I should have cooked you something today. It's fine. We can.
You should. You should have.
I should have.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, you are a good cook not because like you have a lot of recipes.
Yeah.
You're a good cook because you have actual experience and you can like. If you find like a bunch of ingredients, you can have a simulation in your brain.
Exactly, that this works with this.
And you're gonna decide, this is how I'm gonna do it in order to have something delicious. And when you do it, it applies, like it works.
Yeah, it works.
So this is the thing that makes a good chef a good chef, right? And I think this is what should be. This is how medicine should be taught. It's not for the recipes. It's not for the how to, Instead, really understand the physics of everything that is inside and around the human body. Like, for example...
I understand your point, totally.
For example, there's a doctor that I respect a lot. One day, I told him that, hey, my car was very hot because it was under the sun and the greenhouse effect. And he was like, the greenhouse effect?
I didn't know it.
What are you talking about? You know what greenhouse effect is? The greenhouse effect needs like an actual greenhouse and a lot of plants, and it needs this and that, etc. I was like, no, you just need...
He memorized it.
Yeah, and I told him, you just need a container, a transparent container, and nowhere for the air to move. So whatever is going to... The sun is going to hit the ground, and it's going to heat up the ground, which is going to heat up the air, and the air is not going to be replaced. So it's going to be hotter and hotter and hotter.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, a greenhouse is not a car. A greenhouse is that. Right. So the thing is, he did not really understand the physics of heat transfer. Same thing happened with an architect that I was talking to. He was like, in order to have good natural air conditioning in a room, you need this and that, and you need to be not facing the sun, etc. And it was like Harvard techniques,
yeah.
Right? And I was telling him, hey, instead of Harvard techniques, like I asked him, do you know why this technique actually works? And he did not know. He was like, it works, hey, because instead I was explaining him, hey, there are like two ways heat get transferred, like by touching or by radiation. And this is something that he did not know.
And this is the thing about self-taught. Like here's the thing. For example, I give you an information, like how I learned English simply.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that, or they tell me, hey, Malak, I got to the point where I want to learn words, like, to have actual words. And they start like, do I need to make a list and just start memorizing it? No.
Exactly.
I used to hear, like, for example, the word sandwich. So for me, it's like a witch and sandwich. The next time I see a sandwich, I'm like, sandwich,
This is a good way to memorize.
So basically, no, it's not about memorizing. It's about you, like not just knowing the thing. Like you make your own, as you said, even though you weren't a doctor or you weren't, but because you somehow know what it really is, and the real reason why it works like that, you could like convince him, and you could like give him information. So same thing, like you should be very comfortable when you're learning something, because it's not because like you're a doctor you don't need to know about physics, or you know what I mean. So it's the same thing.
It's actually the contrary. I think it's because you're a doctor, you need to learn physics.
I understand your point.
And this is what a lot of doctors and a lot of architects miss. They completely don't know any physics, and they completely don't know
Architects not knowing about physics is a disaster.
Let's
start with that. Because, okay, a doctor, I understand. You need to know basic maths. You need to know physics. Like, let's say we're not talking about perfectionally doing your job. And obviously chemistry is a huge part of it.
Exactly,
It's a huge part of... Listen, if you are a doctor and you don't know... damn about chemistry, that's a huge problem.
And it's not just chemistry, it's chemistry, and it's also mechanics, because
it's all connected.
Yeah, and it's because
science
your
is
body
always
is kind
connected.
And body is kind of a robot.
Yeah,
right?
Totally.
So there are like bones, and there are things, etc. And then you need a little bit of electricity, because there is electricity in your body, etc. So what are you doing? Like, if you don't know chemistry and mechanics and stuff like that, what is everything that humanity knows? And this is what I feel like med students are doing. Like, everything about medicine. It's like in order to learn English, you تحفظ dictionnaire.
Yes. Totally. Now that it makes much sense. Yeah.
So this is my problem with med students and with architecture students.
Yeah, I totally get this point.
Yeah.
Do you want to go through the Instagram questions and stuff? Let's see what do we have.
Yeah.
So that no one will like hate on me. Like, hey, I did send something, but you haven't. Okay. Where do you... I'm really bad at this. Where do you get like all the... hike. Okay.
Okay.
So okay, let me just... What do you think about a speaking session with both of you? So for people who don't know, we are making a speaking club like each Saturday in Elm Center, which is like
free.
a speaking. Yeah, and it's for free.
For now.
Yeah. For now. So if you'd like to join, that would be amazing. I think it would be great if you come. I feel like we make one together. So excited for it. So talk about Palestine. Okay, I think
free Palestine.
Yeah, just free Palestine. That's it. I feel like in the past, like I think month, I've talked a lot about it on my story, you know, and I think that it was a chance for me to know more because I'm not going to lie to you, Palestine was not always on my head. Like, it wasn't always a priority. I always supported Palestine. And I always, like, if you ask me, you're Algerian and what, I'd be like, Algerian and Palestinian. Like, just like if we have it in our... This is how I feel like. I just have it within me, like, you know. But it gave me a chance to look more up about history of Zionism, of everything, you know. And that is very important. Anyway, hate comments in Algeria.
Hate comments in Algeria. Okay, I think on the internet.
Hate comments and the way to succeed in this effing Algeria. Yes, Nazim, you need to chill out.
I haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah, I feel like same here. I think it's not about Algeria. You know, there's this one thing they say is if you can do it in New York, you can do it anywhere else in the world.
So in order to succeed in Algeria, you need to succeed in New York.
No. Try to understand what's behind it. They say if you succeed in like New York, it means you can do it in any other place in the world,
including Algeria.
Yeah. So which means what it means is that like I think we just find excuses for ourselves. Like I don't think Algeria is a very hard. It depends. Listen, it depends on what are your dreams, what is your project.
This is the thing.
It depends on a lot of things.
Yeah, if you're happy being a salarié in Algeria, and even then it can be very difficult.
You know, here's the thing about thinking of a career. I didn't finish talking. So the thing is, I don't ever want to be financially stable. It scares me to be financially stable. I want to be financially free. What does that mean? It means when I wake up in the morning, it's up to me whether to go to work or no. Like, it's up to me. Like, I don't work for money, more like money working for me. Like, all I think about is I'm obsessed of investments and how to make... Because think about it. I buy a house and then I rent it. And with the money of the rent, I'm paying for the house, the money of the house. This is an investment. But buying a house and you're like, the investment is buying the house. So I bought the house.
The thing is, when you buy a house, it's very, very expensive. But then when you rent it, you're going to have your money back in like 30 years.
Yes. You will.
It takes 30 years.
Yeah. Well, 30 years, no, it doesn't have to.
Kinda does.
Like, here's the thing. Like, let's don't talk about...
Okay, let me tell you my problem with Algeria and trying to succeed. So, I know a lot of people who actually repair computers and iPads and iPhones and smartphones, etc. Right? And they make a lot of money, okay? However, some guy does the same thing in New York. Do you know how much money he makes a year?
How much?
$2 million a year.
Oh my God.
Like, it's the equivalent of 40 مليار.
This is...
a year. Why?
I doubt the president at this point gets 40 مليار.
Exactly.
Oh, this is mad.
It's because... It's just because there are more iPads and iPhones and laptops in New York.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Yeah,
that's it.
Totally.
That's it. So if you open a shop here in Algeria, people aren't willing to pay a lot of money for their devices to be repaired, and they don't have a lot of devices to repair. So even if you're talented, you're gonna be diluted in the economy of Algeria. Like, you can't just become a millionaire وحدك. This is the thing.
So economy has to help you, and a lot of circumstances in your country has to help you. Okay. About your passions. What are your passions?
Ooh, my passions. I have a lot of passions.
Yeah, same here. So same here. So do you think it's a blessing or no?
I think it can be both a blessing and a curse.
My dad keeps telling me it's a curse because of his experience. So my dad also likes a lot of things, and he always told me that he used to make cartoons when no one else knew how to make them in his environment and all. And he told me that sometimes you are because this happens to me, like I can't stay focused on one thing for a long time. I get distracted sometimes, so I don't finish like my end goal, if that makes sense, and I just jump to something else because it's also my passion.
I see.
That's the tricky thing.
This is the curse thing.
Yeah,
like,
because
it's very difficult to focus on one
So
thing.
you whether pick something and succeed in it. It's better than doing a lot of things and being average in each one of the things.
This is the problem, yes. Like you don't have enough time in one life to be really good at many things at once. Some people do, though. Some people really get good at many things at once. Yes.
Yeah.
Like I can imagine if I was a photographer like every day for 20 years.
Yes. You would be
like gonna be like what I am now.
Exactly. You see, exactly. Yeah. Yusra said your passions and your first impression about each other.
Oh, my first impression about you. My first impression about you. You were 15, not 14.
No, 15.
Okay. So what happened is I was teaching a class of teenagers, and then you came, and then I was like, why is this adult? Not adult, but like almost adult.
Yeah.
I thought you were 16.
Oh, really? That's good. That wasn't that far. People tell me I'm 23.
But
people tell me.
Still, the problem was all of the teenagers that I was teaching were like maximum 14.
Mm-hmm.
And you were 15. You were the oldest, but at the same time, you looked older by a lot, like because you're tall. And also, when I started teaching them, like at their level, you were obviously, you knew obviously everything already. So like I remember I told you, hey, why don't you join the adult class, even though you're not an adult yet? So
here's like what like happened that day. So it's really funny.
What was your first impression of me?
Oh wait, let me. I'm getting there. So basically, here's what happened. I was just like with my friend. If you remember, I brought a friend with me. So just like walking, I saw the school and I was like, hey, let me check there. So I was very confident.
You saw what?
The school, the school. I was like, whatever, I'm gonna check. Like I've never been there. Like it was one of these moments when I was like, I lived in Blida for so long, and there are a lot of things around me, but I never check them out. If that makes sense. Yeah. So I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna lose anything. So I came here and I asked whatever, and you were like, you came out the classroom, and I think the one who was in the, I think it was.
So we met before the class.
Yes.
Before the first time you taught?
No, because here's the thing. You were teaching, and I came asking, and then the receptionist told me, hey, you can just join, assist. Like, you can just join.
That's how you joined.
And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, you know, I'm just here having fun, so I'm going to join.
Okay.
And then at some point, I went for the test of the level, whatever. And then I was like, okay, I want an oral test. Like, I was just messing around. Not messing around, but it's a good opportunity.
And I did you an oral test.
And then you came. And the receptionist told you, hey, do her oral test.
Okay.
So we sat like in the reception, and you're like, hello.
After the class.
After the class of kids that you were teaching.
Yes.
And you're like, hey, and we're like just talking. And you were like, hey, put her in the adults class, whatever. Yes. And I was not coming. Like, I was not coming. And here's my first impression about you. So I thought you were like very strict.
Okay.
But like very nice. At the same time, here's why I thought you were nice.
So I'm absolutely not strict, right?
You are. I respect this about you. Are with certain things and certain topics and certain people.
Okay.
If that makes sense. In the certain times, if that makes sense. Like, you're not like strict all the time.
Okay, I'm strict when it's necessary.
When it's necessary, and that's really good. So here's like what I liked about you is that here's the thing. When I meet people for the first time and I tell them my name is Malak, and they're like, okay, bye, Angel. That's it. If you call me with my English name, that's it. It's all good.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's so nice. Like, you were very nice to me.
I told you Angel.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were very nice to me. And yeah, that just clicked. That you were a very nice person. And yeah, basically that was my first impression. And then he told me that the session of tomorrow, I think it was, he told me it's also for free, your first session. I was like, it's okay, I'm coming too. And then I just stayed. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
Which is so weird, yeah.
And you thought I was way younger than I actually was.
Okay, so one day, oh my God. That's the fun. Listen, I've never laughed in my life like that. I don't know. Anyways, so we were all in the class, and I thought Amin was like max, guys, like max 20. I thought you were 21. 21 max, okay? So once we're in the class, oh my God. We were in the class, and he's like, he was just talking, and then he said, I am 27. He's like, yeah, I'm 27. And I was like, you are what? He's like, I'm 27 years old. like I was shocked, and then I looked at like the people. Anyways, and we couldn't stop laughing. And you like, do you remember? It was like half an hour. We couldn't like finish the session.
I don't remember exactly what happened after that, but I knew you were laughing your brains out.
Oh my god, I couldn't stop laughing because when you think someone is a certain age, and then you like you act on it,
it's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird.
This happens to me a lot actually. I meet a lot of people, especially at work, and I just assume they're like much older than me because they look way older than they are.
You look young. You have some.
I do look young.
Yeah, you do.
But a lot of people look
much older.
Way older than they actually are, like
totally.
with their beards, and they're like عندهم les rides, etc. And then they're 23.
Totally.
What the hell is going on? Right.
Totally.
So
about laughing. So I laughed then, and we laughed a lot. And then I went home, like I was in my room, like studying, and then I couldn't stop laughing. Like it was that bad that even when I went home, I'm like walking in my room, like oh my god, and I couldn't stop laughing. Like it felt so stupid. But yeah, anyways.
So
we had, by the way, we had some really good days in your class. It was amazing, and the people were amazing. So yeah.
Shout out to that.
Shout out to you,
and then what happened? I want to complain about the fact that I meet a lot of people and I just assume that they're older, and then I kind of respect them because they're older, right?
Totally. So you act. That's it. You act.
Give them the benefit of the doubt, and sometimes I don't
you
contradict
act on
them.
it. Like
I act on it, yes. And then I realized like they're 2 years younger than me. And I'm like, what the hell? For example, I don't know if you know him, but the Ministry of Startups. Have you seen him? Like
no.
he looks 35.
I'm quite sure my dad keeps like showing me these. He's obsessed with startups in Algeria.
He looks 35. Like I'm sorry, he looks 35. And then I was.
How old is he?
I was in a conference and he was talking, and I looked him up on Google. And I discovered that he was 27.
No, so your age.
He's a year younger than me.
What happened? Oh,
he's a year and a month younger than me.
Oh, like it happened this.
It happens recently.
Yeah,
it happened recently. So I was like, what?
But here's the thing. I hate it when sometimes I don't even tell people like the right age, my right age, unless it's like necessary. You know, it's like necessary to tell them my real age because people seem to treat you like based on your age. Like I don't mind you knowing my age after I know you for so long. This is your case. In my case, I have to tell the age before I start doing things. Because you look young.
Because I look young. And
because here's the thing. If I tell you my age, like, hey, I'm 16, you talk to me about a Space Tune, you know, like, I know, like, this is how it works. I totally understand this because of our generation, but, you know, like, it doesn't have to be that way. Like, talk to me for an hour, and then judge my brains, you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And this is the thing. A lot of people tell me, hey, when we saw you and then when we talked to you.
Yeah.
It's a very
people tell me this too. I hate people assumptions. People assume a lot of wrong things about me.
But they can't help it. Like, I can't help
totally.
but assume things about people.
Yeah, same here, to be honest. But sometimes your assumptions are way far than reality. So basically, ageophobia is a thing. Don't tell me it is a thing because a lot of people like treat other people based on their age, like no matter what. So that is the thing.
Yeah.
So like here's the bad part about it. I don't mind any part except the part of people making fun of my age because most of the people I know are way older than me. Like my friends, like way older than me because for some reason I can't socialize with people my age that much. Like, and they keep making jokes of like about me being 16, so I always feel like I am the person left in the group, like, oh, you're 16, you know. And
tell me about the idea of you starting a podcast. Are you gonna have me on your podcast?
If I do, you're gonna be the first guest.
All right, so what
promise
what is like, is this just an idea or did you really
I think about it a lot.
Really?
Like, I really do think about it a lot. But here's the thing. You know, I told you we need to rent a studio and then I just come in the hours.
You can still do it in Aim Center.
No, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I'm saying that. Because I'm not lazy. But sometimes I'm gonna do this, but later. You know, I need like a setup. I need something ready, and I'm just like
something
doing
that doesn't move. Yeah,
that doesn't move, and I'm like, that's it. I'm just gonna do it. Otherwise, I'm gonna be like, oh, it's not the right day. It's not the right weather. It's not the right this and that. And I think that I need to work on that much more, because I start a lot of things. Yeah. And people react good to these things. But then I'm like leaving these ideas behind me, working on a new idea that I don't know if it might work or no. Yeah. That is my problem.
Yeah, I see. So you're going to start your podcast when you have a place?
I'm going to start my podcast when I know that when I start, I'm going to beat the YouTube algorithm. I'm going to post each week.
Ooh, okay.
I know a lot about... Listen, it's really weird that I don't have a YouTube channel yet. Let me tell you why. Because I grew up... And my dad is like encouraging me to start YouTube. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's rare, but my family supports me being on social media. Can you imagine? Very rare. Can you imagine? Like, my dad is like, hey, when are you going to put he bought me a microphone. I told you I had a microphone. He bought me a microphone. Yeah. He knew I was looking for one, but like it wasn't a serious thing. I was like, yeah, whatever. He bought me a microphone. I was like, hey, start. He was like, this is what's working right now. This is what's trendy. Yeah. These are the people who are having a good life. He was like, this is perfect for you. Yeah. Because I'm going to be free to do other things. And then it's something that I enjoy.
I think you have the potential to become like a really big influencer. Like on TikTok and Instagram. Like at least.
Yeah.
You have the potential to be a big influencer, to do like ads for groups and for companies, etc. Yeah. And then you have the potential to eventually become an actress. Like a lot of influencers are becoming actresses.
Yeah. I'm really good at acting. Okay.
And you do acting, right?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And the thing is that the acting I did is not the acting that I would like to do. Like we did like in the theater, like when you have an event, historical event, and they just have you memorizing some lines, and then you have to just like say them as a part of, like, it's not really... I want something much bigger than this, like giving much emotions.
You wanna do improv?
I want to do drama.
Drama, yeah.
Even though it doesn't... listen, I'm not I'm not that dramatical of a person, but I'm really good at like crying, and not crying, but actually I can fake cry. Yeah. Can you fake cry?
I can't.
You can't. I can easily fake cry sometimes, and it scares me. Ooh. Like sometimes I'm like watching a movie and I see this scene, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna redo it, and then I just start crying.
I see.
Like a sign of like a scene of someone saying, how could you do that to me? And I can just start crying, and it terrifies me. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it happens, I'm like, wait a minute, did I just fake cry? So yeah, I think I have the potential to do it, and I think it's really cool to. It's like reading a book, you know, like you're living different lives, if that makes sense. Yeah. Same thing with acting. It's like a personality. Yeah. When you see like Ashur Lashar is a personality. He's a person. When you tell me Ashur Lashar, I tell you, you know, like I can see that he's a real character. Yeah. So same thing. So I'd love to do that too.
Yeah. Have you read the book, The Picture of Dorian Gray?
No. Haven't.
So there's a character in The Picture of Dorian Gray she's an actress, and she plays Juliet in the play Romeo and Juliet. And she plays it like once a week.
Romeo and Juliet. Yes.
You know what?
I'm mixing. I'm reading a book of Shakespeare, which is Othello. It's a story, same story. It's a love story, and I don't know why I always say that they are Romeo and Juliet. They're not. They're not. Okay. You know, like it's just that now Romeo and Juliet is like a common thing for each couple. If that makes sense, you're like, yeah Romeo and Juliet. Yeah. You see, so
it's the cliche couple.
Oh,
it's the cliche drama story. You know the story.
What story?
Of Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, obviously I know. Yeah.
Because everybody knows it. And so Romeo and Juliet. She was playing Romeo and Juliet, and then what happened is. So Dorian actually saw her playing it, and she was fantastic in it, and he fell in love with her, and he went to her and he told her that he loved her, etc., and then she told him that she loved him too. What? Somehow.
I don't know why I can't imagine this happening real. Listen, I don't know.
It kind of happened because it wasn't like.
No, you
like
don't understand. Like, here's the thing. I don't see myself telling someone like, hey, I love you. Like, it's just not my thing. Like, I would.
This is the thing. Like, she did not really see herself saying that until she met him, and then the next week. So next week, he asked his friends to come and to see her play Juliet.
Wow.
And his friends are into really good quality stuff, etc. And they saw her play Juliet, and for the first time ever, she played it really, really badly.
Oh, because of the...
And he was so disappointed, and he was shocked, etc. بهدلته مع أصحابه. And they were like, this is what to you is a good play of Romeo and Juliet.
My God.
So he went to her and he broke up with her, and she told him, do you not understand?
Oh.
Do you not understand how romantic this is? That the fact that I played it badly, I did it for you.
What?
He was like, what are you talking about?
Oh, so other guys would fall in love with her if she played it well?
No. She was not Algerian, so no.
Yeah, Algerian girls think everyone is I'm the opposite. So if someone would come tell me, hey, I love you, I'm like, yeah, ha ha ha, funny, yeah, sarcastic,
No,
you know. No, you don't.
What happened is, she told him that she was not just playing Juliet, she was actually Juliet during the plays. So when she cried, she would actually cry for real, for the le malheur de Juliet, right? She would cry for Romeo for real.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden,
I got it.
She was not in love with Romeo anymore. She was in love with Dorian. And
because she thinks the person who so she thinks the person who she met now is that Dorian. She's
she decided to stop
loving,
being in love with Romeo, and she decided to live her own life for once.
Wow.
Yes.
This is very
and
because she met him and he got her out of the... Wow, this is really interesting.
That's really interesting. Her life as Juliet has ended.
Yes.
And her life as an actual person has started.
Yeah.
And so he told her, you're saying nonsense, and she killed herself.
Oh my God, this is really bad. So you know when you said that when he broke up with her because she did it bad, that's something that I'm also terrified when it comes to relationship, is that sometimes people love you because of certain thing about you that might not be permanent. If that makes sense. For example, hey, I love you because you just want to be a housewife. And then for example, one day you think that, oh, I want to do this and that, or you have an opportunity. Yeah. And they're like, hey, I can't be with you anymore because I thought that I want to be a housewife. This is what I love you because you just want to stay at home and take care of me and my family. It really terrifies me. Or looks. So the Greeks have 7 types of love, and the first one is based on looks, and it's the weakest one. And let me tell you why. Imagine you love a girl because she has beautiful eyes, and then one day she gets shot or something, she loses her eyes, or I don't know, a certain thing, and then boom, you're you don't love her anymore.
You don't love her anymore because you loved her eyes.
Yeah, exactly. So you see, that's really terrifying.
This kind of terrifies every girl ever. If all of a sudden when you tell a girl that she's pretty, she's not really flattered because she thinks that it's going to end. And a lot of girls share old couples walking together and doing things together, etc.
I do that because I think
this is what I want.
Same, because here's the thing.
Sorry,
here's why.
I'm 30.
Here's why. Here's why. Because I am personally, I hope I stay like this. I'm not saying because a lot of people say me, yeah, it's just because you're young. But I like doing fun things. I like I don't know, here's the thing. If I get married and my husband's like, hey, let's go to this very expensive, I don't know what, and stay in a hotel for 5 days. I'm like, no, I want a road trip where we just have a tent and, I love these type of experiences. I'm not saying that 5-star hotel would not be good. What I'm saying is I want to do new things. I want to keep trying new things. I'm fun.
Adventurous.
I'd be dancing around the house, be singing. If someone doesn't match my energy, I'd be very disappointed.
Yeah.
Imagine I marry someone and he's like, hey, can you just shut up for a minute? That's it. I'm because I talk a lot. I think everyone figured this out already. But yeah. But yeah, it terrifies me too. So yeah.
So it terrifies you to find someone who doesn't really match your
because people
energy.
lie. People lie about I tell you, hey, I love this song, I love it too, but they don't love it. But imagine it's something bigger. I marry you and then I figure out you don't like doing the things I like doing and I enjoy doing. Or the most selfish thing is asking me to give up on things I like because you don't like them. People don't talk about real life things when they're in a relationship. They're like, hey, I love you. No, I love you more. No, talk about real stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? Real stuff is what actually matters.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It does.
What am I talking like I'm 50 years old?
Yeah, I think we ended here because it's kind of late.
Oh, you think?
It's 8:15.
Okay, so one last thing that I would like us to talk about.
Okay.
It's actually Rostam who recommended it.
Okay.
It's l'agression des profs de Beji Mukhtar.
Oh, wow.
Would you like to talk about that?
What is there to say about that? Obviously, this is shocking.
Why?
Well, obviously, it is shocking.
Okay, so here's what I think. I think that it's today. Someone was like, "Hey, I saw a woman." He's like crying. I don't know if you saw the video. He saw a woman pouring water, and the door of his store. And he was like crying and that he did suhoor and I will never like that's why my life is going bad. And everyone went like we open a bank we open a bank account for him. Wow. I swear to God. And we a lot of all the pages reposted and they're like yes and he took this and that. And then what happened to this women? No one talked about it. Not no one, but like not all the pages did. We are talking about where like a place where your teachers should be feeling safe. You know, like we're talking about something big. It's huge. Like if something like this happened in America, you'd see like people protesting about it.
Yeah.
We haven't done much about it.
There was a small protest.
Small, but like just in university. Like women. Here's the thing. Here and there will never work. It's whether we're all together or nothing will change.
I saw the video of the guy crying because of
listen, I'm not saying the guy is bad, whatever. Listen, I don't judge him, whatever you think. Listen, here's why. Listen, the guy is not the guy. Wait, but the guy is not. Yeah, the guy is not like famous. I understand that you're a normal person and you thought whatever, I'm just gonna grab my phone and cry. It wouldn't go that viral. I didn't know he existed until this incident. You know what I mean? So I don't judge you. Maybe you didn't know this will go this viral. Maybe you just want it. A place where you can share your feelings, even though I think that's stupid. Because I told you before on my Instagram, I used to share very depressing stuff because I was depressed at some points. Not literally depressed, but like I was feeling down. So other people would relate to it and start telling me like tragedies that happened in their lives, and I'm like, oh my god. So it's just like if I'm opening an old like womb. It's complicated. So I stopped doing that. So if you have a platform, you should definitely be aware of what it could cause and all. So yeah, I just feel it's very sexist and it's very disappointing that not enough people talked about it.
This is the thing. It's the most viral video of the year in our country is some dude crying because some old lady did him suhoor.
And he doesn't even know. He said a woman pouring water in the door of my...
And the thing is...
How'd you know?
They caught the woman and she was beaten.
They caught the woman and she was beaten. He didn't film her though. I didn't see... I haven't seen... Like the video was just him crying.
I don't know what happened, but they beat her.
They beat the woman.
They beat the woman.
Okay, let's imagine this for a minute. She bought a water bottle, whatever. It fell. Whatever.
Let's suppose Sahratu. Actually,
Sahratu. You don't have the right to beat her. You should go to jail for that. Whatever. I don't care.
I think even if Sahratu, like ahkamha and fucking educate her instead of taking her to prison. Obviously, this is a woman.
There is no law for prisoning Saharin. You know that. Because there's nothing to prove it. Because there's nothing to prove it. You cannot. It's pseudoscience again. Don't tell me it's not science because they say it's chemicals and
it's not chemicals.
Whatever.
If it's chemicals, like
we could do experiment on it
and prove it.
Prove it. Yeah. So basically, it's really it's very disappointing, and it shows you the level of the country, like the people.
Yes.
It shows you.
Yes.
Like it literally shows you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Did you know that I'm posting videos on TikTok?
You are.
Yeah.
You didn't put that on Instagram.
What did I put on?
You didn't promote it on Instagram. You didn't put
it on TikTok.
Yeah.
I did not, because I did not really think it was going to be a big thing, but a lot of people told me, hey, TikTok is going to be something cool. And TikTok is becoming cool.
TikTok algorithm is perfect for any content creator who has something, like you have a niche. So for example, my TikTok account is going to be about teaching English. So if I constantly post about teaching English, it will just give me more and more people because it doesn't prefer a one content creator over another. This is the thing about it. So you don't have to beat the algorithm. The algorithm is kind of helping you.
I see.
If that makes sense.
So I just put a video there. I left and I came back like a week later and I found 40,000 views.
That's what I'm talking about.
40,000 views is huge.
Yeah, I've been like on Instagram for like 2 years, I think, and I just have 1K and like 100.
Yeah.
And it's disappointing. Yeah. Like, okay, I understand I'm not like super active and all, but still,
when I post on Twitter, I have like 10 views.
Twitter is really bad with this. Like, even, listen, I don't know if you have noticed, but even like famous people, they be getting like 50,000, 30,000, even though they're like famous.
Yeah, but so that's interesting. At the same time, Twitter can be like really useful.
Yeah,
because it's text.
Exactly.
Just
Yeah, and also like if you have a hashtag and a lot of people are like supporting, that's the good thing about it is that if you have a cause, like you have something to talk about, it could like go viral. Like you could like support the hashtag. That's a good thing. That's a powerful thing about it.
Yes, there's a thing that on Twitter that is called ratio someone.
What?
When ratio someone.
Ratio someone.
Yes, let me explain to you what it is.
What is it?
So, for example, a famous person tweets something, and then you reply to the tweet, and the reply is more popular than the actual tweet.
Oh.
That's called ratioing someone. Is it your parents?
Yes.
Yeah. So we need to go. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much for watching. We talked a lot. All right. Bye-bye.